my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen. Make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Dionna, hi, we're back for another edition of All Time High.
Yes, hello, hello. Happy to be back.
Things are starting to cook. Things are starting to get hot. But while we wait for this particular episode to reach its full force and effect, go ahead and hit the like button.
Right there. Yep.
Go ahead and
a little
subscribe.
lower. Right there.
Next to the like button. Go ahead and then set the notification bell so that when we publish these episodes, they actually show up in your feed and you get to watch them and you get to share them with friends and you get to comment on them. We are working hard to interact more with the commentary. We're seeing a lot of good comments out there. We look forward to receiving them. But Today, we're here to talk about the money in the market, not financial advice.
No, this is just for fun.
Do your own research. But let's talk about the Circle IPO.
Man, what to me, what a fantastic industry for all this money that's coming in. Where you have Coinbase, now you have Circle, and it's literally just like blowing up.
Yeah, this one blew up incredibly well. You were throwing some numbers out just a second ago. What was it you said that?
Yeah, 168% raise in stock price since it debuted on the New York Stock Exchange.
So you know who's in trouble for so I think on the surface level we go, oh, this is good, right? There's a lot of money in this space. And
Yeah.
I think there are two issues that happened here.
Oh.
One, these IPOs, when they come out, the goal is to what? Get money for the company to use it.
Yes.
So do you know that the banks went out with an IPO at $31 on June 5th?
The banks?
Yeah, the banks try to set a valuation to secure as much money from the market as they can.
Okay.
And they set the IPO at $31. So that secured, well, you see the miss here already. I already see it in your eyes. You're like, oh, wait a second. Somebody messed up there. Somebody left some money on the table because they secured, let's call it $6 billion, $7 billion for Circle.
Yep.
But today, do you have any idea what the stock price is?
Tell me. Let me hear the number. I think I saw it, but I'm curious what
it's
it is.
It's at $149.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's what, almost 5 times more than.
Yeah, you're talking about 34 billion in market cap. But the IPO, that original funding, only secured billions of dollars, not 34 billion, closer to 6 or 7 billion.
Shucks.
Well, you may think, right, but what it shows you, two things. One, that the banks don't know how to properly value this space at this moment in time.
Totally agree.
There are some big things happening, and not all the IPOs go like this. I personally felt the other side of the IPO with Coinbase.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, I knew because I had experienced something, that Circle was going to go up and then crash out.
Yeah.
That's not what's going on right now.
Nope.
It's about 2 weeks later, and the bankers missed it. And guess what? Every company in the crypto space is thinking right now.
We need to go IPO.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not even ready, and I want to go IPO.
I mean, what can we IPO? Like, let's AI, crypto. Let's get this thing going. I'm telling you.
Let's do it all. We get all-time high, baby. IPO. It's the timing of it, though. You have to think about it, because we just said that the stable bill is in Senate, right? So if you have all this buzz and you already have Circle, who's established, they have a stable coin, they're in with the banks, they're handling a lot of different things between, the financial stuff. So they're perfectly positioned to capitalize this. I think even though our initial thoughts were that it would go differently, I'm honestly not that surprised that this is how it went.
I mean, that was a 5-day look. So let's back it up. Here's the real money on the table, man. The IPO came in at 31, but then it hit the open at 63. I mean, they literally underestimated it by half. I mean, you can look back a week later, a month later, timing matters. But at the open of the issue of the IPO for Circle, they put it at 31 and it came in at 63, 69, depending upon which source that you're looking at. And it has continued to fly higher. Even as we look, I mean, the B's here in this particular setup mean that it's a bull wick, the red bear wick. I mean, it looks like it's coming down into the 140s, but holy cow, that's a week's worth of action.
Yeah.
That has just reset the whole IPO mindset. It's reset the whole crypto capabilities. And a lot of people are looking to this feeds right into the stablecoin legislation, the Genius Act.
Yeah, that's what, and the timing probably, again, I go back to if they're going to roll out a national, like, let's just say for whatever reason, Circle is going to be one of the major players, right? I mean, they're established, they have their coin, they're a public company now. So this money that they're raising would probably help the infrastructure and help the rollout of any kind of stable dollar that they're doing. And this, to me, this just guarantees that they're going to continue to go up. They're perfectly positioned. I mean, kudos to them. You couldn't call the timing better.
Well, yes, as far as getting it into the market, but here's where they also missed. You tell me, what are we hearing is going to happen with interest rates?
They were going down last time I heard, no?
Yeah, we're about to get a cut. I mean, Trump is pounding on Powell to say, cut, cut, cut.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're going to cut this particular meeting, but there's conversation that we're looking at 100 basis point cut at one of the future meetings into September. So 1 percentage point cut because inflation is down, jobs continue to do fine, and the Fed's dual mandate is intact. But you realize as a stable coin, you're making money on the interest. So the fact, well, I'm just going to keep it simple. The fact that they missed half the money at the open, I know it's a big number, but you left exactly double what you made on the table. That's not good. And we're walking into a reduction in interest rate environment. So you have less money and you're going to not make as much money on your money than you would have made had you had more money. Does all this make sense?
To me, 100%.
Okay.
And I think for anybody out there, they're like, oh, poor company, you got billions. But it's like when you leave 32 billion on the table, it's kind of a big deal. Like it's not little numbers. Like, you know, it's almost like here, I'm gonna give you $6 and then $32 over here is just not what you're gonna get. And you're like, not add billions to it.
And then you want to put it in your bank account and get interest on it. Except the interest rates are going to go down. So you're going to make less money because you don't have as much money and the money isn't worth as much as it would have been.
Yep.
And I know people think we're crazy.
We could stake and yield. If only we could stake and yield, we would make up for all of it.
You're not going to stake and yield if the Genius Act, as it is currently constructed, makes it through the Senate and the House of Reps and gets signed by Trump. Like, there's a lot of steps still left.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So you were going to say.
That's the thing. We've been looking at this every day. People might say, what are they talking about? Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. But you've been in this space for how long now? Paying attention every day?
Yeah. 8 years. Yeah. 8 years, 9 years.
The game starts to slow down. It's like the Matrix. Like the bullets start coming at you more slowly. And I just, when I saw the Circle IPO, I thought, there's one more big problem that we need to talk about.
Oh.
Are you ready for this, Dionna? That they're going to encounter because of this.
Okay, let's hear what you got.
They're now an attractive takeover candidate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
they got less than what they should. I mean, it's almost like all the world's a stage. This is a play. I can't believe it, in fact. And you know who has a lot of capital sitting on the sideline?
JP Morgan.
Yeah. Any bank.
Oh yeah.
Right? But wait, hold on. Let's talk about this because you're here and I'm here and Jamie Dimon is there. Don't you think Jamie's going to do his own JP Morgan coin? Do you think he's going to let his ego get out of the way and buy a company?
I don't know. I mean, because you think of like, why do it when they could just buy Circle? Like you just said, why put all that money into building your own blockchain and doing this whole thing unless they've been doing it already? You just buy the infrastructure and something that's already there.
Which blockchain is Circle on? I know it's going to be interoperable, but I think it's on Stellar. Am I right?
I think
I could be wrong.
No.
When I am, I will own it. I want to make sure this is a previous episode, but we were talking about the BRICS nations in a previous episode.
Don't say it. I want one thing where we don't get banned. One.
Okay, we're doing this episode not to get banned. So we're not going to mention foreign countries or politicians or any of the other things that can get you shadow banned with YouTube production, with YouTube delivery, with YouTube distribution.
Yes.
So what are you not going to say? Oh, the C word?
Yeah, the C. The C word is what I was thinking of.
Yes. And the thing I wanted to acknowledge, a mistake I made, was that one of the countries she mentioned was South. We can't even say that one probably.
Oh, you think?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Well, there was 2 South countries and we were both right. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, we said another one. It was 2 South. It was all of them. They're all there.
Let's cut to the chase. Dionna was right. I was wrong, but it was true that UAE and Saudi Arabia are part of the BRICS group. There was originally just those particular nations for that acronym, but now they've added 6, 7, 11 countries are now involved. And this puts all the more pressure on the stablecoin legislation. It puts all the more opportunity on companies like Circle that go public at massively undervalued valuations. And this whole thing, Dionna, screams to one thing to me. All this, the bankers don't yet get it.
Yep. Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's been almost a decade. You would think they would get it by now, but I agree with you. They don't. And by the way, I just looked this up real quick before we forget it. So USDC from Circle is on Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Polygon. And then it also supports Base Algorand, CeeLo, Near, Noble, OP Mainnet, Polkadot, and Stellar. So you were right on Stellar.
But also it's interoperable. I mean, at that point,
which is huge.
That's 12 different locations where you can trade out of that particular coin into another coin. And that's what people like you and I would do. Not financial advice, do your own research. But if you're not going to be able to get yield on it, what are you going to do with it, Dionna, as a consumer?
Right now I would put it in Bitcoin, but that's just me.
Well, no, but so for somebody out there that's brand new, you would put your money into a stable coin so that you could trade into these other coins and out of these other coins at your will, at your whim.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if I'm a new person, I don't even know if I could grasp that part of it, like holding a stable coin and trade. Like I had a guy one time, he hit millions in Doge and never pulled it out because he didn't want to pay taxes. And I was like, you could have put it in a stable coin. Like you could have, as long as you didn't go to US dollar, it's a taxable event. You have to record it, but you don't have to report it until you actually go to the dollar. And so he missed out on
tax
millions
advice,
just
not financial advice.
Yeah,
do
no,
your
I'm
own
not
tax
I'm
research.
I'm definitely not a tax person. So this was my thoughts to him, and that's it. But I don't know that newbies understand that part enough. I would say though, if we just highlight, let's just throw this out there. Circle is now a public company. Stable coins are going to become a thing. If Circle, for whatever reason, powers those stable coins, all of those chains I just mentioned are going to have huge usage as they start to go up. So even though it's a stable coin, if I continue to get usage on Polkadot, if I continue to get usage on Stellar, the more adoption you have, the more the other price goes up. And so, the more people are using the blockchain, the more valuable the blockchain is. So while I'm not saying it's a guarantee, I'm saying it might be worth your interest in actually watching some of these other coins, because if this lines up, those dominoes are going to connect very quickly.
Yeah. And what you're starting to talk about and what I'm very excited about is utility, right? This whole thing is really bringing the banks to the table, and I would dare say, are unwilling participants. They've got a really good system. Why do we need to change? Even if it's for the greater good. And that's where I'm at. I want the greater good to be part of the equation.
Yeah.
But as you look at this, if you were in an entry point, we're on team sideways right now. Like there's not a lot of people that are on team sideways because we like it to go way up. We deal with it when it goes down, and we buy more at the bottom and it goes back up. Right. But team sideways is like this choppy place in the middle. You want to talk a little bit about that? Some of the patience you need, what the mindset you might have in those moments? Because we're in that moment right now.
We are in that moment. And I used to give crypto to everybody all the time. I think of this years ago, how many people I tipped in Bitcoin. Like it's just even 5 years ago.
Ethereum too. Yeah.
And so I have people that I've given it and they see it go way up and they're like, should I pull it out? Should I pull it out? Should I pull it out? And I'm like, I don't know. What are your goals? Like, it just depends on what you want to do. So everybody's financial situation is different, but if you can hold, if you bought and you can hold, you know what I mean? Especially some of these bigger, more established coins. I'm not saying like a new coin that comes out, more than likely that new coin is going to go up and it's going to come right back down again. So those aren't necessarily the best to hodl. But if you're talking about these more established coins and you buy in at 5 and it dips down to 4, don't sell. Don't sell yet. I mean, this is not financial advice, but I'm telling you, don't take the loss, because if you can ride this wave, it eventually goes back up and it's been worth it. And if you, actually, is this a good time to pull up a chart? Can we just do like an all-time chart of what, whether we pull up Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Yeah,
or,
I'll pull up Bitcoin. That's a good one.
For those
Most people
who haven't been in crypto long, we see these all the time as far as like the peaks and the lows, and it's up and it's down. And every time it doesn't go down as much. And every time so far it's gone up a little bit higher. Not saying they all do that, but if you go back and you look at the history and the tradition of it, it gives you a better idea of, what you want to be doing.
Look at that. I mean, I talk about, or I've studied and have come to learn and grow with Wyckoff distribution. And this is what I would call as an ABC correction.
Yeah.
Right. The A, the B, and the C wiped out.
Yep.
So obviously you want to buy low, and I don't know necessarily that I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I am. Sure I am. So there we go. We're still sitting at 104. And as you look at that, I'm going to go to all time so you can speak a little bit. You want to go all time, or how about 5 years? Just 5 years will give you the whole.
Go all time. Because we're trying to explain like what these peaks and valleys really look like. So if you look at the look at that historically. Yeah. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And again, we're pushing towards more and more adoption at this point, and utility is really going to be the driving force.
Yeah, and people that bought in 2018, it was at $20,000. You can see that on screen now if you have good eyes, and it went all the way down to 2,600. So, the goal is not to buy up here and sell down here, but a lot of people do that. And so that's one of those things that from 2,600 it went up to 13, 14,000 and capitulated back down to, we'll call it 6,800.
Yep.
And that's when it got exciting. It went from 6,800 to 60,000.
Yep. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. So you look at the historical chart of whatever coin you're trying to do your research on, and definitely do your own research. Look and see, what are those traditional things? Is it a big raise up and then a drop down? And if it's that one and done, that's probably your pump coin. You probably just need to ride that and get out. If it's one of those other ones, like you talk about Ethereum, Polkadot, Stellar, XRP. If you look at those other ones.
Wait a second. Did you you did mention them, didn't you?
Did I? I might have.
Yeah, I think you did.
I might have.
See, you know who really could use a company like Circle about this time?
XRP.
Yeah. Don't you think?
I think XRP is already established. No, they just need. I don't think XRP has a stable dollar on it.
It does. They have one. It's called RLUSD. And do you know about the escrow?
No.
They have an escrow of assets that are sitting there. So let's say there's 100 billion of the tokens that can be issued.
Yeah.
Right now, only 58 billion of them have been issued. So let's say there's 42 billion left. So 42 billion with the value, let's keep it simple, at $2 per token, that's $84 billion just kind of sitting on the balance sheet. If you had $84 billion and Circle were available for sale at $34 billion and you were trying to build out the infrastructure, would you take 34 of the 84 billion and buy Circle?
I mean, it's funny that Circle is just going to have a heck of a time with all these prospects trying to snatch them up.
Well, and here's where the human condition comes in too. Don't you think Circle's a little mad? Circle, the people that are in the company who are under lockup, they've got a 90-day or 180 days before they can actually play with the money. They got $6.9 billion out of it. And everybody in the market was able to capitalize and get $34 billion out of it. Wouldn't you take a deal at 40 billion and make up the gap between the 6 you saw and the 28 that you didn't?
this is one of those times. I would say yes. I'm going to say yes. But
I would too.
But who, like, maybe Circle has the potential to be that much bigger. And, you know what I mean? Their long-term strategic, you know, this is just a step in the bigger play. Maybe they're really aiming to be the next JP Morgan of crypto. You know, and then at that time, would you sell for 40? Like, if you know that's your long-term road plan, would you sell for 40 billion at this point? It is a high moment.
I would say 40 billion. You tell me, Dionna. You tell me. You thought the bankers told you a week ago you were worth $7 billion. And now, 10 to 15 days later, you're worth 40 billion and you're done. What are you doing?
Listen, me, I would definitely, I would be like, sell this puppy, give me my shares. I'm going to be on a yacht, you know, if you guys need me over there doing something else, I would definitely, but that's just me.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that are going to happen in between. And I am still waiting for, just so we're talking about it, on that ABC correction. We know there's a certain person, and we're not going to get this episode canceled, but we know that when he tweets, things can happen rather quickly. They can go really fast north or really fast south. And he has a tendency to kind of do the first followed by the second. Like he likes to take things down before he takes them back up.
Yeah.
And despite the legislation and the favorable aspects of it, there still are going to be uncertainties that happen. And we are set up right now on this team sideways chop, which is part of a Wyckoff distribution. You can look that up on your Google search or your AI search or your whatever search, and understand that an ABC correction is usually then not necessarily guaranteed, but I believe personally is going to be followed by a catapult to new, you got it, Dionna, all-time highs.
Yeah!
Cue the music. Oh, there's my alarm. That's the end of another episode. Dionna, you're a rock star. We appreciate you.
Yes,
have a good one.
Thank you guys so much. Bye.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time. Why?